Today I'm talking a little bit about how to improve your research, writing as a research method. And there is a good way to improve it. And I wanted to talk something about this. Okay. So first, please remember that the most important thing is research is based on communication. Okay. Any research, scientific research or technological research, any research is not just about your research activity, but communication with other people. Okay. If you do something very good and you say nothing about to other people, then your research is not counted as research at all. Okay. So please remember, your research includes good communication to other people. If you cannot communicate well, then your research is not evaluated at all. Okay? So any of your discovery, invention, and development is counted as an academic contribution only when it is shared in the academic community. Okay? Which means that oral communication or workshops and conferences like today, or journal paper publication. So your research has its goal to publish a paper. Okay, again, now, this is a very important point. And if I can say that I listened to the last presentation of the workshop very interestingly. But then, as it is recorded, but okay, I can say anything. Okay. To tell the truth, I know that he has a lot of hard work, and I really appreciate it. However, as a piece of study to be presented, that is one of the very typical worst presentations. Why? He presented a lot of things. Then, what was new in his research? Then actually, the new point is to apply some supporting device, online supporting devices to improve the ontology quality, right? Then he showed the number 17th slide, his contribution. So for example, the communication became better. Okay, we can say better, but how was it evaluated? How was it measured? Is there some sort of a quantitative guideline? Actually, no. In his presentation, there's no quantitative evidence there. He said that this is improved, this is improved, this is improved, without evidence, right? So again, I'm saying that he has a great work. Okay, I don't doubt it at all. And also, it's a great project, yes. But from the viewpoint of presenting research, it's not good at all. Now, you understand what I'm saying now? Okay, so, again, I'm not blaming him, okay? I'm not blaming him at all. This is a very, very typical example that I saw so many times. So, okay, I'm skipping this one. So, what is academic research? When you want to know something and investigate it, it can be called research in general sense. However, academic research is actually very narrow concept. Very simply, must contain something new. Okay? And also, this something new should be evaluated or proven as an improvement over the past research. Okay? And that is why most of your research contains evaluation experiments. And you will compare your proposed method with other methods. Hey, we are number one, or something like that. Okay? Now, the point is again, in so many cases in Southeast Asia, your research project as a whole will not be a study to be published. So again, please remember, I'm not denying so-called big research project. It's worth doing. What I'm saying now, however, is this whole of your research project will not be evaluated as a study to be published as a paper. Why? Because your whole research project contains too many things. Too many things and different directions. So for example, again coming back to the presentation that I mentioned, okay, he first explained the ontology development of Buddha image. And he almost spent 5 or 6 minutes for that. Because this is his project. Okay. But actually, this part is just a preface for this time. Because his main purpose of his presentation today was to show the application of the supporting tool to improve the ontology was useful. So all these kinds of preface part is actually necessary as a background, but it's not a part of this research this time. Okay. If you want to include all of them, maybe it will take 100 pages or 3 or 4 hours, which is not allowed you at all. You are allowed just for 5 pages, 6 pages, 7 pages, something like that, for conference paper. Even for the journal paper, like 20 pages or something like that. So please remember, and actually it is quite important, not just to the student, but to the young researcher who are the supervisor. Okay. Please remember that your whole research project is not a study to be published. Your study to be published should be just a small part of your research project that you can assert that this is new and this is proven. Okay. Only this part is a study to be published. Okay. This is the most important point today of my talk, because I have some sort of 10 years of experience of being related to a lot of Southeast Asian nations. And in these 10 years, on this point, actually I have to say almost nothing has changed. There's still so many papers just describing this is a research project, we developed this system, and that's all. And that's exactly why so many of these kinds of paper are just accepted as a short paper or poster paper. They are not accepted as a full paper. Why? Because they are not focused well. Okay? So, seeking a solution to a problem that has never been properly solved, or seeking an answer to a question that has never been well answered. This is a point that you may be able to publish. On the other hand, again, I'm sorry, I have no bad intention to him, but still it's a very good example. His group developed the Buddha image ontology. Okay. No one has ever constructed such an ontology. Yeah, it's new. Yes, in a general sense. However, in academic sense, constructing a new ontology itself is not new at all. Why? For example, things like this. You are a web designer, and you are making a new website. Of course, no one has ever built this website. It's new. Can you submit your paper about this website? Of course, no. Because you are not making anything new. You are just developed a new system. It doesn't add any knowledge to the scientific community. Okay? No, he's okay. Same, even for the ontology. If he cultivated or if he proposed a new method to construct an ontology, that's a new point. But if he constructed a new ontology about a Buddha image using only an existing methodology, nothing new. Okay. Again, please remember, this is the most important point. So many people, researchers and students, misunderstood. And that's exactly why your paper is only accepted as a poster presentation or short paper, and has never been accepted as a journal paper. So, we always have to ask ourselves, what's new in our research? Actually, I'm working in Prince of Songkran University, Phuket campus. And my department is only about a graduate student. And almost every week, we have a seminar where our students make a presentation. Okay, every week, my question is always the same. Okay, thank you for your presentation. Now I have to ask the usual question: what's new in your research, and how do you insist that this is new and this is better? Okay. So, in academics, something new that you find must be something that adds to the body of scientific knowledge, not to the society, actually. Again, particularly here in Thailand, most of the research project, particularly when you get some grant from government, it's an applicational project to solve the social issues. Yes, that's important part. I know. However, this part will not have a chance to be published as a scientific paper. This will solve the social issues, that's great. However, if you want to publish an academic paper, then you have to find something new that you can solve in this whole project. And only this point can be published. So I'm skipping this way. So good research has good topic, sound thinking, good research design, good outcome, and good attitude. This is some sort of a usual thing. And I can talk this one with 1 hour or so, but today this is not the main topic, so I'm going to, again, sorry. So first, what is a good topic? Okay, this is important point. Okay, now, I'm sorry, but different people use a different terminology. Okay, in my talk, please understand that when I talk theme, this is more bigger one. Topic is more pinpoint specific one. Okay, for example, I want to do something about deep learning. Or I want to do something like machine learning. Okay, it's a good theme, but it's not topic. Of course, you have to go more into detail. Okay, I want to use a dense net. Okay, that's maybe okay. But still, just using a dense net is not enough, or something like that. Okay, so going into more specific is the key. And most of the cases, almost more than 90% cases of the student research, and more than half of the young researchers research here in Southeast Asia, their topic is too big and containing a lot of things that is not new at all. Okay, suppose that you made a great invention, new invention, to maintain a website, okay, for example. And suppose that this is really, really new. So this part is worth publishing. However, if you write your paper from the beginning about the whole website maintenance, then how many percent of your paper will describe the indeed new part? Maybe only 5% or something? In other words, 95% of your paper is not new at all. Then how can your paper be accepted? Okay, so always focus only on the place that is exactly new, and focus on how to evaluate this is indeed new. This is a part for publication. Again, I'm not denying at all about the whole research project to improve the society. This is a very important part. But very simply speaking, this is social research project. And you cannot publish social research project. You can publish only academic research project, which has to focus only the new points, okay? So, again, a good topic must be sought to produce new finding, whether it is theoretical or practical wisdom. All the other part, you can ignore that. So, why so many papers are so poor? Okay, first, your whole research project must not be submitted as one small paper. Again. And also, it means that each paper should have only one focus point. So actually, for the presentation of his paper about the Buddha image ontology, actually one good possibility is from his question that only to focus on evaluating how to detect the error part or how to detect the misunderstanding. Okay, actually he can focus only on this part. He can publish a paper. Of course, in order to publish a paper, he has to make a lot of additional work to evaluate how correct this detection is or something like that. But this is research. This is academic research. Okay? And also, again, here, describing your system development itself is not the right topic for a paper. For example, maybe some of you have an expertise of education technology like an e-learning system. Okay, I listened so many number of bad examples of the presentation about the e-learning. They present, we developed this e-learning system and evaluated that this enhanced the student learning or something, although their evaluation is doubtful. But anyway, the point is that, okay, if we can construct an e-learning system, for example, an e-learning system for English language, for Thai people, and if some students use it, surely they will improve. Because otherwise, they will just chatting or something, they will not study. So actually, most of the comparison or evaluation of the e-learning system happens this way. Take some student. Okay, if they are not chosen for this experiment, they will not study at all. But now, fortunately or unfortunately, they are chosen as an experiment. So they spend a little bit more time to study English. Okay, result, which is better? Obvious, right? Surely they spent more time to learn English with the system. So surely they will improve. Actually, so many study of e-learning is something like this. But actually, the true research about e-learning system is not like that. Instead, focus on just on a very specific point that makes student difficult to learn with the e-learning system or something. Just only some point. And then you can propose some new feature to be included in the e-learning system. This is a point that you can say that this is new. And your experiment should be quantitative enough to prove that this new part indeed improves the situation. Again, construct an e-learning system and okay, those students who use this e-learning system improved better. Okay, this is important result of social research project, but it's not academic research project. Okay, and also something is wrong. What happened? Okay, I can say. Or maybe something wrong is there. Okay? And the third point is poor storytelling without good unity and flow always makes your paper poor. For example, again, coming back to the example, okay, I told you that he spent first 5 or 6 minutes for introducing the whole research project about constructing an ontology. So, after listening to this kind of introduction, I'm sure that all of your audience first thought that, oh, constructing this kind of ontology is the topic of this research today. But actually not. His topic today was applying a supporting tool. So, if almost all the audience had a wrong impression, can you think that it's a good presentation? No. So, anyway, many submitted papers also have a wrong focus. All you have to do is to propose something new and show it's an improvement over others. That's all. Please focus on this point. So, again, coming back to the beginning, as you already understand that your research achievement will finish with a publication. If you have no publications, then your research makes nothing. Okay? So, you can conduct your research according to your writing. This is what I tell writing as a research method. In other way, writing as a research method is manage your research in a way that your research steps surely contribute to filling all part of the paper. From the beginning. Of course, actually, research can be done in different orders. For example, even for me, sometimes I start up my research project just out of curiosity. What happens if I change this part? Very technical, small part. I start like this. I don't care about the social impact or something like that. Just when I change this one, what happens? Okay, so again, your research can have different steps. You can start from your curiosity, or you can have some instruction from your supervisor, particularly when you're a student. Okay. You can start anyway. You can do any order. But eventually, your research should have all the necessary part to fill one paper, right? So, what is the organization of the paper? So something like this way. Okay, again, this one is better. Preamble is not the body part. This is additional part. Okay, title of the paper, author's affiliations, and abstract, keywords, references. Okay, all of these part is considered to be preamble. Preamble means that it is not the main part of your body. Okay? On the other hand, sections describing the work is, of course, introduction, previous work, methodology, like a proposed work or something, and evaluation of a method. So evaluation usually contains experiment, results, and discussion. And then last one is a conclusion. And when writing this whole step, the only thing you have to do is just proposing something new. Okay? You don't have to care about introducing whole of your social research project. That's not the part of your paper. You can do that just as an introduction. But you shouldn't introduce your whole social research project as a part of your methodology. Because this is not academic part, okay, again. The only part that you can think as academic is the new point. Your proposal to contribute something new, okay? So, among all of them, maybe introduction is the most important and the very easy part. Not the easy part, but the very typical part. So introduction defines what your research issue is, and which direction you are going, and how you are going to solve. These three parts are the most important parts that you have to write in introduction. If you write an introduction of a paper, and if the reader cannot understand these 3 points, who can evaluate your paper? Okay? And now I'm talking about writing as a research method. So actually, this introduction can be written even before making research. Okay, I can show one very extreme example, my case. Okay, one of my first research, which was done almost 15 years ago. Okay, before starting anything, I started to write introduction. And there, of course, before starting anything, so some part of the research I don't know. So I can write some sentences. And then after that, I know what kind of things should be written next, but I don't know because I didn't start research yet. So at the beginning, you can try to write introduction with blanks. You can easily understand that, okay, this one, the next, I should write something like this, but I don't know. Okay, now you know what you have to do. Okay? So if you cannot write some part of introduction, that's a part you have to tackle. So not only to make your research smooth, but also by trying to write an introduction, even at the beginning of your research, you can know what you know and what you don't know. And indeed, knowing what you don't know is the most important part in research. Because if you know everything, then what is the reason to do the research? You already have the answer. If you already have the answer, then surely other people also have the same answer. Then what is new? Okay? In other words, okay, this is very typical part. Okay, anyway, my slide will be uploaded onto the ICNP website, so you can download later. Okay? So today, I have to finish almost in a few minutes. So first, please remember this is the idealistic way of writing introduction. First paragraph will start usually social backgrounds and problem. So, for example, suppose that your research topic is natural language processing about Thai social media. Okay? So you are tackling something about handling Thai social media very informal languages, which is very different from the newspaper or official document. So you need some special device. Okay, now, if this is your topic, then you can start your sentence that in the, for example, in the digital age, as we are living now, using social media is part of our daily life, and this social media language contains a lot of important information to be shared. However, social media communication becomes bigger and bigger, and no human being can check all the social media languages. So some automatic information extraction of social media language is in need. For example, I'm just thinking of now. But now you can understand that what is a social trend and what kind of technology will be needed. Okay? So, like this, to emphasize the problem is critical. Automatic extraction of information in social media language is important. You have to say that. And of course, it should be solved in technical way. That's why I say automatic extraction is in need. If you are a politician, then you can say different things. Then, of course, you are not the first person to focus on this one. So there should be some technical commitment, and of course there should be some issues. For example, what technology has done to solve or facilitate the social problems. For example, you can say that in English, there are a variety of research to cope with some special features of social media languages. However, due to some special characteristic of Thai written languages, including without a full stop or comma, or some sort of free omission of anything or something. So, technically, many people tackled handling social media languages in other languages. But Thai language has some special features, and still more research is needed. Now, social problem, handling social media language needs technical treatment. And then this technical treatment has been done in other languages, but Thai language cannot be done with the same way. So we need a more specific way. And then, technical issue. What is the issue of handling Thai social media? Okay, then one typical example is that, as I already told you, that in other languages, including Burmese, Myanmar language, most of the language on the earth has comma and full stop. So in other languages, no one actually doubt what is a sentence. Sentence can start from the big character in English, for example, and end with a full stop. In Myanmar, Burmese language, it's almost the same. They have a full stop. Japanese language have full stop, Chinese language full stop. How about Thai? Actually, to tell the truth, for Thai language, segmenting sentence is actually more difficult than segmenting words. This is a very special characteristic of Thai language as well as Lao and Khmer. As far as I know, only these three languages on the earth have this kind of trouble. So, you can say what research has done to solve the technical issue, but still you should point out this is the remaining question. Okay? Again, if someone already solved it, don't do that. It is already solved. So even when you make another solution, if it is much better one, it's okay. But most of the cases, it's almost the same. Then your effort will not be appreciated. So please find some part that has never been solved, or some part that you are sure that you can improve. Okay? And then, okay, suppose that now we want to tackle with the special feature that Thai language has no sentence markers. Then, one of the solutions in the first was, as in the morning Professor Tanaka also mentioned, introducing the concept of EDU. EDU is an elementary discourse unit. Okay. But actually this EDU also has a lot of trouble, because the EDU is more about the conceptual nature. But what you can do is tackling with each character. Each character is not concept at all. So actually, there are a lot of different ways. Okay, of course, you can also pursue another way of applying EDU. Okay, this is one direction. But if I were you, maybe I will not do that. Maybe I will make some sort of application of the deep learning method, typically in a sequence-to-sequence deep learning method. So this is another direction. So there are a lot of research directions that tackle with these unsolved issues. You have to choose. So how you're going to solve the problem and what technical point you will pursue and why. Okay, in this case, I say that I want to pursue the possibility of sequence-to-sequence deep learning recurrent neural network method instead of applying the EDU. Why? I already told you that EDU has another trouble of the conceptualization, for example. And then, what kind of contribution will be made? So, overview of your achievement, and also your contribution. And then, please remember that, as I already told you, that your contribution has to be measured quantitatively. Even when you say that, our result will be, our result is better, if you are just saying like that, no one believes. Okay, this is almost the same thing that I'm a good boy. Who believes? Okay? And then finally, the organization of the paper, blah, blah, blah. So please remember that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paragraph structure of introduction is typically idealistic way of writing introduction, particularly for conference paper. When it comes to journal paper, maybe some part of them will have 2 paragraphs, but still structure is the same. So this is already fixed. So every time you start your research, you can check this one. Can I write in a social part? Actually, it's not so easy. Yes. For example, suppose that the censorship issue. Nowadays, more and more people have a lot of different kind of things, and then some bad things prevails. So some censorship is necessary. Okay, now, if you write so in the first paragraph, some censorship is necessary. Okay, still not good at all. Why? Because if you say that, okay, you can become a politician, and you can make a law to prohibit prevailing rumors or something. This is another solution. And if you do that, you cannot write a technical paper. Again, of course, you have to show censorship is needed, and indeed some technical thing is needed here. That's what you have to write. And that's not easy at all in some cases. Again, if you say censorship is needed, it's not a solution at all. I can say, okay, you should be a politician. Okay? And then, the second thing, literature review. Okay. I can finish in 4 minutes. Okay? Yeah. I have to declare to myself. Okay, literature review. Okay, literature review again, the most important point is here. Many students and young researchers like that, and here, this kind of research, this kind of research, this kind of research. Okay, no reader wants to see the list of the past papers. This is the role of review articles, not yours. What you have to do is, this is proposed, but this is not enough. This is proposed, this is still should be improved. This is proposed, this is wrong. The most important point is you have to criticize the past documents to show that still no good solution is found. That's why I do this. Okay? In other words, the raison d'etre or the reason for writing literature review is not summarize the past research. The true reason for literature review is to show that I have something that I can do from now to improve the situation. But actually, so many papers I had. Oh, there are a lot of studies, blah, 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 blah. Okay, there are already a variety of studies, so why you do that? Okay? And then, main part again, focus on your technical proposal. Again, please remember, if I already talk a lot, so you cannot remember all of the things. But if you have to remember just one thing, please remember this. Your social research project as a whole is not the target for your paper. The target of your paper is only in a small part in your whole research project that you can say that it is a new proposal and it can be evaluated. This is only part, okay? So focus on the technical part, and during your research activities, always be careful which part is for your whole bigger research project only. For example, suppose that now we are making an online website for e-learning. Then this is an e-learning site, so we have to record how each participant, each learner use the system. So surely we need an authentication system, user ID and password. Okay? It is necessary for your research, for your whole research project. But surely this is not new at all, so you don't have to write at all. So be careful which part is for your whole bigger research project only, and which part is related to a specific research achievement that you are now writing in one paper. And also, always try to find a good reason to do something or not to do something. Okay. Actually, some people say that, okay, I chose this method because it is easier for me. Okay, no one cares how you feel. No one cares how you feel. So if you want to say the same thing, you have to say, instead it is easier for me. Instead, it is easier for this type of data set, for example. Yeah. Or, as this task is very critical of timing, so the method that can enable quicker calculation should be chosen. Okay, huh? Not about you. And of course, you cannot say why you do this. Because my teacher said that. Okay, don't tell that. And then finally, it is quite important, particularly for students, keep record of all your research activities in one notebook. Okay, there's some very specific example. Okay, every time I have a new student, then I take almost 3 hours of orientation to my new student. And among them, I always give one big notebook to my new student with my money. But anyway, and then what I take, okay, this is just an example. You don't have to follow. But if you like it, you can try. Okay, for every page, you can, something like this one, left page and right page. And I tell my student, first, only to use left page to record everything. Okay. Whether it is about the summary of the paper that you are reading or some sort of experiment that you are doing. But basically, only use the left page. There, when you have something that you are not sure, or if you have some questions, you can write on the right page. And then, so right page have full of what you want to know from now. When you get the answer from your supervisor or textbook or any paper, you can write the answer here. Yeah. So always writing what you did on the left page. And write some questions or what you have to do from now on the right page. If you do that, very simple thing. Okay. And then, actually, usually, most of my students, whether it is a master student or doctoral student, finally used up almost 10 notebooks in 2 years or 3 years. But there, this is very, very valuable records of what he or she did. And after a half year or so, they don't waste time to find what kind of question they want to ask to me. Because all of them are recorded here. And as writing this way, all the records are already there. So they don't have to ask the same question again. And of course, you can do that on the computer. Actually, for myself, I use computer because I'm a bad writer. When I write something in quick way, even I will not be able to read in the future. But for the most of the students, it's better to write on paper because it's freer. It's more free, okay? But anyway, so for main part, the method evaluation, this is the main point. Okay, so now I want to stop my talk here. Actually, I have more slides, but now I have to stop here. So the two things, first one is, okay, this is an idealistic organization of the introduction. So when you begin your research, you can check one by one. This part is already included, whether I can write or not. This one is not. You can check. Again, if you cannot write at the beginning, it's okay, it's normal, because you are not doing research yet. But by checking this way, you are sure that, okay, this is exactly what I can do. Actually, to tell the truth, at the beginning, you have a lot of blanks, of course. There, you can think a little bit, which blank I should fill first. You can order the blank. Okay, this is exactly the priority of your research activities. Okay? So, today, I talk a little bit, 40 minutes, or almost 45 minutes, about how your research should be managed by writing. But at the same time, the most important thing is, again, your whole social research project is not the target for your paper. Don't do that again. Please focus only the new point, your proposal in detail, and to make a good evaluation. Then, although this is a very small fragment of your whole research project, but surely your chance to be published, it will be much bigger. Okay, thanks. Now it's a time for dinner. Yeah.
It's not actually a question,
Yeah.
but rather some moaning from my students.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I supervise my students, they always moan about the workload they have to encounter during their study. For example, they moan about the workload of coding, and they have to develop the whole system for the whole thing, and at the end of the day, they cannot find any new thing at all, but a system that is workable. This is a pain in the ass. This is a pain in the ass for any graduate students. So, do you have any recommendation on building the mindset for getting the new things while developing a new system like that? And do you have any recommendations?
Okay. First thing, this is, I know that, but actually this is a problem not only about the student, but also the supervisor.
So it means you have a problem.
Yeah, but there, one easy answer is just stick to the same question every time or always. What is new? What is new? What is new? If you continue to ask yourself about this question, there's much more chances that you can find something. In other words, very simply speaking, don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up trying to find a new thing. That is the most naive answer from me.
Okay, I've got some suggestions
Yeah.
regarding my own questions.
Yeah.
So I recommended my students or my advisees to use ready-made or available library.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too, yeah.
Or they can ask someone else to develop it for them, and they focus on the research questions.
Right.
Development is not their job. Research questions is the quest they need to take.
And actually, his suggestion is actually exactly the same, in a little bit different way of saying. he's saying research question is exactly the same as the new.
Exactly.
Yeah. So another thing is that most of the cases students cannot find something new just because their background knowledge is in short. For example, suppose that some of you have a research topic about machine learning, and then suppose that you are very poor at mathematics. So naturally,
Important point.
what you want to do is maybe make use of scikit-learn at the best. Most of the cases, trying to use more and more about RapidMiner or something. So you don't know what's going inside in the machine learning. What kind of optimization technique is used. You cannot understand then how you can find a new topic in machine learning. Actually, yesterday, before coming here, I had one class for my graduate student. It's a data science. And the topic was linear regression. But then, what I did is, my slide yesterday was full of mathematical equations and functions. And I explained line by line why this is needed. And also, I always ask my student that, why this happens? Why this is needed? What is this half or something? And actually, I found that 80% of the cases my student couldn't answer. Why? Because she was not so strong at mathematics. And then in the end, what I told her, she's the first year of master course. And then what I say is, I'm sorry to say, but from now on, within 2 months or so, the most urgent task that you have to catch up with is mathematics. If you cannot catch up in mathematics, maybe I think that you have no next semester. So again, the second thing that I can say is, if you cannot think up of something new, maybe it may come from your lack of technical knowledge, particularly mathematics or even some computer science. So this is some sort of a little bit more technical suggestions. Any other questions or suggestions?
You did.
Yeah.
Really did. And my next question is going to be, how can you differentiate students who can think but cannot write it down, and the student who cannot just think systematically?
You are now talking about calculus. I know that's.
Actually, to me, some student can conduct research activities. So this is one part, which is a little bit independent. On the other hand, I'm not sure about if there is a good difference between the student who can think but cannot write and who cannot think. It seems to me almost the same thing. Why? Because if you cannot express, so not only writing, but speaking is also okay. But if he cannot express his thinking, then it means that he cannot think. That's one answer from me. Maybe it's a little bit severe. Yeah. But then, actually, I can save a little bit more student. Most of the cases, the student who cannot think or who cannot express well about what he's doing is just lacking how to express logics.
Yes.
So actually, for example, every time, and most of the cases, those students have a little bit weakness in always thinking why. You can do this one, why? You can do this one, why? You get this one, why? For example, in the previous session, I asked one question that in DenseNet, why 1-to-1, 121 frames or something is better than blah, blah, blah. Why? Because if I get the same result, this is exactly the first question that I will have. On the other hand, actually, so many students, I'm not sure about her, but so many students, including my past student, didn't think at all. And they just come to me and saying that, oh, teacher, I got this best result with DenseNet 121. Yeah, I got the best result, and I think that 92% is enough. DJ. And then my question is that, okay, it's a good result, but then I have to ask why you got this result. Then suddenly my students stopped saying anything. Yeah, I got this result. Yeah, I know. Why? So again, maybe I think that you can, particularly from the supervisor's side, you can always try to let him make, always asking why. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we should finish now.
Yeah. Okay, so let me say some conclusion or thank you very much for the precious talk relating to writing papers and doing research. Actually, I'm also always mention that doing research and the development or engineering things are really different to my Myanmar student, especially to my Myanmar student. But in practically, there are also many problems in the society and in the system of the educational system of Southeast Asian country. I mean, if I point out to my country, I mean Myanmar, maybe you already know, you have some Myanmar student I know very well. So, of course, math is also one problem. Another problem is English. So to know.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry. It's not just about Myanmar.
Yeah.
Cambodia, Laos,
I know, but I'm from Myanmar, so I don't want to complain to the Thai. No. I can dare to say I think I have enough right to say to Myanmar because I'm a Myanmar. Yeah. So if I give a good example, another problem is English also. Yeah. To understand, to do a research, we also need good English reading skill. Of course, math is also fundamental. So that two barriers are really big barrier for, Myanmar and as you mentioned, I think all, it's Southeast Asian country. Of course, we understand English, but we need more deep understanding. If we want to understand on theory or it's a big barrier. So you mentioned actually very important point. To be a researcher, to do a research, I'm really want to say thank you, and especially for the student and young researcher, even including me, I learned a lot from you. So thank you very much. Let's appreciate his talk.